I decided to pursue a PhD in social work because I wanted to really start to learn more about the root causes of structures of oppression and how our laws and policies and system cause the inequities that continue.
This video provides insight into the experiences of social work PhD students at Colorado State University. Throughout the video, students, staff, and faculty are seen interacting with one another in a variety of educational settings, spaces, and activities. That is the voice of PhD student Quinn Hafen. While Quinn is speaking, footage of them teaching in a classroom is shown on screen.
Even though we've been working on them for decades.
I have done clinical work for most of my career. When I went into social work, I always envisioned doing something on a more macro level.
That is the voice of PhD student Jesse Pettigrew. While Jesse is speaking, footage of Jesse walking around the oval with a faculty member is shown on screen.
I'm really interested in research that can turn into advocacy and preventing people from having mental health issues in the first place.
A lot of the pieces of how the social aspects, relationships, community, access to food, identity impact people's health outcomes.
That is the voice of PhD student Heather Crate. While Heather is speaking, corresponding footage of them in a classroom with other students is shown on screen.
And I was feeling like I wanted the opportunity to further my career in that space and also to train other social workers to think about the bigger picture of impacting people's lives on a social, political level.
It was an opportunity as a Black woman I didn't think I would ever get.
That is the voice of LaShawn Duhart Wood. While she is speaking, footage of her in social work classes is shown on screen.
And I say that specifically because I'm also a veteran, I'm also a queer student, but I'm a Black woman. And this was something I never thought or I've never seen in my family before. For my classmates to accept me in with my, invisible disabilities, I want to be able to pioneer more research to effectively help veterans who are in transition into college.
The kinds of problems that I'm looking to address with my research area.
Quinn, now speaking, is pictured walking around the oval with a faculty member.
Has been really focusing in on how white people show up for racial justice and sometimes co-opt these movements in order to ease their own feelings of guilt around the existence of racism in our society. Some other problem areas that I'm seeking to address has been around how we can motivate folks to engage in collective action. And so looking at that gap between when we say that we want things to change and when we actually do things to create that change.
I'm really interested in sleep from a social justice perspective.
Jesse, now speaking, is pictured with a faculty member sitting at a picnic table on a bright fall day.
And so part of that for me is looking at a pretty well-known, well-established sleep intervention and looking at access around that intervention.
I'm specifically looking at the ways that we can increase experiences of transgender joy.
While Heather is speaking, footage of CSU's campus on a sunny day is shown on screen.
For young people. So what are the ways as social workers, as family members, as community members, we can support young people so that they are having more joyful experiences, more positive experiences, and ultimately having better health outcomes, better mental health, versus a lot of the negative outcomes that we're hearing about or the negative sentiments or policy attacks on transgender youth.
I want us to evaluate the programming that we are providing to veterans. As a military person, as someone who works for the VA and someone who works in higher education.
While LaShawn was speaking, footage from the New Start for Student Veterans overview video is shown on screen.
I know we do put money in the programs without close evaluation. And that's what I want to do with my research, is to be able to probe the VA, probe the federal government into military spending to see why are we just pouring money into programs that haven't shown to be successful.
The mentorship that I received throughout the social work program has been really great in the sense that I've connected with a lot of different folks.
While Quinn speaks, footage of them walking alongside a faculty member from social work is shown.
And I've had the opportunity to work as a graduate research assistant with multiple different professors.
I was really lucky to get to work with the Social Work Research Center, where I got to...
As Jesse mentions the Social Work Research Center, footage of the Social Work Research Center in a meeting is shown on screen.
Be a part of research studies and grant evaluations.
There were other folks in the department
More footage of Heather working alongside other peers in a classroom is shown.
who were looking at equity issues, racial justice, what it means to be a white social worker in the field of research, anti-oppression. Those are all things that were really important to me when I was looking at different programs.
Yeah, so originally I came in and I had an idea. I knew what I was going to write about. It was like Black social workers.
As LaShawn speaks, footage from the New Start for Veterans overview video, alongside footage of colleagues speaking with each other, as well as LaShawn working on her laptop, is shown.
Black veterans in academia. And then I was like, okay, I can look broader. It's really pushed me to not narrow my research, to know that you can have a broad interest, and it may be time consuming, but if that's what you're passionate about, we're gonna support you. The mentorship you get here, you feel like you're a partner. You're learning, but you feel like you're a part of it.
Coming into a PhD program after being out of school for so long, I was feeling
More footage of Heather working alongside other peers in a classroom is shown.
sort of nervous, wondering who my fellow peers were gonna be, what that was gonna look like. Everyone is really supportive of each other. We text each other about assignments. We bounce ideas off of each other. We're also willing to be critical eye on papers, to challenge each other, to ask hard questions.
My cohort and my peers through like writing groups.
While Jesse, Heather, and Quinn and LaShawn take turns speaking, footage of colleagues in meeting rooms interacting with each other is shown, as well as footage of students walking around the CSU campus.
And we still have a text group, which is really important because we commiserate and we also celebrate each other.
And so coming into social work for me has been on my own journey of figuring out what it means to actually be part of a helping profession and how we can reckon with ourselves as a member in a collective society and moving from that individualistic lens to the communal lens. And for me, that's social work.
You know, understanding people, but also understanding the context with which they live.
We are looking at all of the social and societal pieces, what we can do as a field, as social workers, to impact those different systems in order to improve people's lives.
So it means that we get to work collectively, and it's not just a one discipline focus. So we get to broadly help individuals while also having, again, that macro, that meso collection, where we're affecting the world, not just what we're seeing in front of us.
This video was filmed, edited, and described by the School of Social Work at CSU.